Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how this framework keeps on giving, and as you'll see I get multiple trades in an area with this system. So last video we had this very nice clean setup which was made possible with these Bressert markers here, signaling exhaustion. This wick here led to a nice clean setup, taking profit at these supports. So nice and simple, get the signal, see the price action confirmation, this big wick here, and then just taking profit at supports. Nothing really that complicated. But yet, because we're entering our trade near the peak of this high, it means that our stop level is smaller. And this is one of the big advantages of this system, because if you notice here, when I use this short position tool, this shows the trade calculation. And so when I've got a smaller stop area, we won't do it exactly, but I had the stop somewhere up here, yeah, smaller stop leads to larger profits. So if I move this profit target down here, just as an example, yeah, as I move this stop level around, you can see this number is changing. And so the smaller the stop level is, the higher this number is. This number is a multiplier, yeah, multiplies your profits. And so where this currently is now, just a random position, but this would show that your profit is 3.39 times your risk. So if you risk 1%, if you come over to the trade platform, as it was before, this is a 25k account, risk 1%, which is £250. If you risk 1%, and this number here is 3.39, then your profit's going to be 250 times 3.39, which is 847. Yeah? And this multiplier is made possible by having a smaller stop area, and that's the advantage of these markers, is they're showing you where to enter in an area where we can have a small stop area, and that gives us bigger multipliers, means bigger profits. So really quick, last video we had these profit levels. This was about a 2 and a 2.5 to 1, and this one was a 5.23 to 1. And so in the trade platform here, this is where we were before, 5.23 to 1. That means risk 250 to make 1,310. Yeah, very tasty. And as I probably said in the previous video, these are small areas of the chart. Making profit from small areas of a chart is very nice, and it's not very complicated, as I'm going to show you. And as I said, this system keeps on giving. Once you've identified where the strong trend is, then you tend to get multiple opportunities, yeah, as I'll show you here. So we're going to move on from that one. We're going to move to the next Bressert marker. And I'm going to give you one line from the guidance. I kind of feel like this guidance can put you guys off, but it's really simple once explained. So this is a line, just one line we're going to work with today, and we're only going to take part of it. So fast or deep moves can define directional dominance. So what that means is that once we've seen a fast move like this, for the majority of the time, it takes a while before the market is really going to do anything significant in the opposite direction. Yeah, and so if we get a bounce a good chunk of the time, we're going to see more downside. And so here we've got very strong move down, leads to a weak move, leads to another move down. And notice that the Bressert markers picked up on the optimum time to enter the trade. Right, so let's get to it. So in the previous video, we looked at this support as being the ideal sell point before this bounce. But now we can zoom out a little bit and see, are there any more supports that we can target? And yes, there is. There's one down here. Yeah, the next one. Very simple. Just targeting the next support. Nothing complicated. Yeah, and what do you know? The next bounce arrives at the next support. And so all we're going to do, same as the previous example, is we're just going to use the cross as our entry point, and we're going to target the next support. So on this occasion, if we zoom in, it is worth noting here that this diamond would have given us a better entry, but it can run a little bit loose if you trade a strong candle moving in the opposite direction of your trade setup. And so even though this has moved down, it's a safer entry using the cross. And as you can see, when the cross appears, there's quite a lot of downside candles. The darker candles here are the downside candles. And so we can see that when it prints here, this trend is already starting to move down. It's moved below this low here. And so we can consider that this cross marker is signaling that the next move down is underway. And so because we're considering that there's a lot of strength to the downside, this can be moving on down, then we can make our stop level at the high of this move here. And so to do that, I take a note of a time and date here. So you see at the bottom here, it's 19th of May, 2 o'clock. I've already done it here. Press this button here, 19th of May, 2 o'clock. Now this is an hour chart here, whereas this one is a 2-hour chart. This doesn't have a 2-hour chart. So if I come in here, we want the close of a 3 o'clock candle or the open of a 4 o'clock candle. It makes no difference. And so I select the short position here and attach it to the low. I've got magnet mode on, so it snaps to the candle body. And then for the stop level that we decided, which is the top here, which is the high of this move down here, I'm just going to grab this toggle here and pull it up to the high. Now we'll come into full screen here and we can zoom out and see where that lower support is. See, that's the previous support where I took profit in the last video, and select horizontal ray and see it snaps to that candle low. That's my take profit. And then all I do here is zoom right out and grab this lower toggle and snap it to the low here. So the platform shows us the price of the low here, 0.71008. Let's come in here and check that it's the same. And in the profit level, it is the same, 0.71008. So that's all correct. Now if I hover over here, you'll see that this is a risk to reward 1.14. A nice easy trade, yeah, easy money, and it's a very small part of a chart. Done quickly. Notice here that from the entry point down to the low, this is the hour chart. It's only a few hours, well, half a day, 12 hours roughly, before profit has been made. And let's quickly plug that into the trade section to see the numbers. So for any example, I have to put the entry price into the limit section here, so we can calculate our profit and loss. Copy profit here and stop level in the stop loss box. Now the volume is set to our previous trade, so this is too much for a 1% trade, so we need to move this down until it gets to 250. Of course you can trade any amount, but I'm just showing 1% trades for now. And so 0.94 lots is the amount where I risked £250, which is 1% of my account. Now if I press into the take profit box, this is a 1.14 trade, so I would make £287 on that in half a day. Yeah, risk 250 to make 280, make a little bit more than 1% of my account in half a day. It's not a bad day's work. And it's worth seeing what's possible here as well. It's worth knowing what was the actual ratio of the low, and it was 1.76, and so that was the maximum that was possible. But notice here how price just teases lower than this. The blue line is the support, yeah? Price just teases lower than this point and then comes back up again and then moves on up. And this area here becomes the next trade setup, but I'm not going to cover that in the video. I'm just going to leave it short and sweet. And so that's that. This trade was very simple. Enter where the cross appears, set the stop level to the start of a move at the high, and take profit of a support. Nice and simple, and because I risked 1%, that would increase my account by 1%. Next video, can you imagine, we will be looking at the next Bressert marker, which is going to deliver another trade setup. But that's it for now. Links for everything I use are in the description. I will do an install video sometime soon, so you guys can use this indicator for yourself. Right, that's it. I'll see you on the next video.